Hi, I'm Masuba from a Python lab. Today, I'm going to show you how to deal with missing data. It is a part of data cleansing. So we are going to do some practices, how to deal with missing data, as well as how to impute missing values of the data. So let's try to import libraries, pandas in NumPy for our data manipulation technique. And in this practical session, I am going to use a creative data training Excel data, which is just reading Excel data using read Excel, not SSV. It is a not SSV. It is an Excel version of data. So we use pd.read_excel instead of read CSV. Okay, let's explore our data and let's see how it look like. Okay, we have a number of columns and a number of rows in our data. So let's try to check the dimensions of the data using shape attribute from data frame because let's to now how many number of rows we have in our data set and as well as how many number of columns we have in our data set. Okay, def.shape. This is a dimension gonna return a tuple of integer numbers. The first number represents the number of rows and the second number represents the number of columns. In our case, we have 500 rows or records and 20 number of columns in our data set. So the number of columns in our data set is 20. Okay, the next step is let's check and calculate the missing data. So our target is how we are going to deal the missing data. So first of all, let's calculate the total number of missing data. That is total. We are going to use is null. Is null is a method that's used to identify that value is none or not. Def dots is none, and we sum up the columns across the column of each value, each non-value, sum and sort values in ascending order is false. In descending order is going to sort that values in descending order. And let's calculate the percentage of the missing values to compare. That's better to compare the if we put the data in percentage. That's easy. Percent. If that is a df is null sum divided by df dot is null dot count. That is counting, and sum is different, and which is multiplied by 100. That's the percentage. And then we are going to round the percentage into one decimal after decimal, one digit after decimal point. Percent rounded. Round function, we pass the percent and the decimal number, the digit after decimal is 1. And we are going to sort the values, but it is not in ascending order. Okay. And we are going to concatenate the percent with the total combined together, and we just create one table which contains the total number of missing values for each column. and the percentage, how many percent are missing from the total number of records. All right. Missing data pd.concat and we pass list of data to concat total and percent rounded. And how we are going to concat the two different data in row wise or column wise. So in our case, we are going to concat column wise the two data in separate columns and just create one table. That is, we pass access to one. And we can pass keys, which is the columns for the table, the newly created or combined tables. That is the percentage is the total. And in this case, the variables or the column names from data frame are indexes for, of this data. And now all the total number of missing values are calculated. But if the missing values is 0, that is not important because there is no missing data in that case. So we are going to filter out the missing data, which is total values greater than 0. All right. Data, missing data, total greater than 0. Okay. Now, rounded, percent rounded. Okay, let's run this. And let's display the result of our. Okay. We have got two variables which have missing values. The first one is duration in current address, has missing 344, which is 69% of out of 500 records. The duration in current address in our data frame is duration in current address. This is so from this column, almost 69% of the data are missing. So if almost above 15% data are missing or records are missing, so that column is will not be important for our data analysis or machine learning algorithm. So it doesn't make sense if we drop this data, or it will not any change in our data in our machine learning prediction, because almost above 50% data are missing. So we are going to drop this data, this column from our data set, from our training data set. So df dot drop, we pass the columns into duration in current address. So we pass the axis is 1 because we are going to drop the column, not the row value. Okay. And we put in place to. Okay. What about the edge years? As we can see here, edge years missing 12 records out of 500 records, which is 2.4%. So very small number of missing data are in our edge years column. Very small number, 2.4% almost. So what we are going to do in this case? So if the number of missing data is very small, so we are going to impute the missing values of that variable. So edge years, that is not a number value, but we are going to use two different techniques or strategies to impute the missing values of the column or the variable. One is the mean of the total data of that column or that variable, and the other is the median, mean or median. But which one is better to fill the missing values? Let's compare. By comparing the two strategies, and then we are going to select the best one to impute the missing values of our data. Okay, age mean is def age years. Let's calculate the mean and median of this column, age median. Median. Okay. Okay, let's print in the output of the both median and mean values of the age years. Okay, as you can see in here, the mean of age year is 35.6 for something, and the median of age year is 33. So what do you think in this case? Which one is best to impute the missing values? Which strategy you are going to use? So if we use the mean of as a strategy to impute the missing value of age years, it will have an outliers because age should be integer values. So after decimal point, we'll have an outlier. So that is not a best strategy. If you are confusing, so you are going to plot some scatter plot or box plot to identify the outlier of your data. Then you can choose the best strategy to impute or to fill the missing data. Okay, so in our case, we're going to use the median because the mean has an outlier. As you can see here, there is a decimal, so age should be an integer. So we are not use mean as a strategy to impute the missing data of age years. Okay, if we choose this median, so how we are going to input that missing data using median strategy? So we can use different techniques, but in this tutorial, I'm going to use simple imputer method from scikit-learn. This is best way to impute missing data. So from that, we are going to create object first, impute simple imputer, and just pass the missing values. We are going to filter out from that data set is numpy.none, not none. And what strategy we are going to use is strategy median, because we have compared the mean and medians of age years, and so median is best to input the missing values because mean will have an outlier. Okay, then get the age to transform from data frame, the age values, and transform that object, input object, and just replace age years in our data frame with the newly imp.fit transform method from this object, simple imputer object. We have already provided these missing values in the strategy into this method, fit transform, and we pass edge values. We already get the edge values from data frame using values dot values, and we are going to reshape this into two-dimensional array, -1 to 1 strategies. Okay, let's run this and check the missing data again. Def is null dot sum. Okay, we can check now. We have no missing data in our case, and the duration in current address is dropped from our column, in all the data are, and edge years right now is imputed by the median. So there is no missing data right now because it's imputed. So we can check def head. Let's try to look the previous result of Explorer. For example, edge year in the first row, there is none. Now we can check this one in the first row, the edge is imputed with 33.0, the median, that's the median. So all missing values in edge years column will be replaced by these values, 33.0. So this is the way how we can deal missing data in your data set. So this is very, very important thing you are going to do and practice a lot and learn a lot of things about data cleansing, data wrangling. So because missing data is not important for machine learning prediction. So we are going to input or drop the missing data based on this way, based on this way. All right. So next time we will learn another topic, and stay with us and like, share, subscribe my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching for today.